Now before we get into this video, let's sanitize our hands. Hi guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Ibrahim. I am a third year medical student in Nigeria, and in this video we're going to be going over some of the preventive measures against COVID-19. We get started, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. If you're a new subscriber, just say hi to me in the comment section and I will respond back and we'll have an interesting conversation. Without wasting much time, let's get into this video. First thing that I want to talk about is staying at home. Staying at home is the most effective way of protecting yourself against COVID-19. Why? Because the virus is not airborne. You can only get it if you come in contact with an infected, someone that has been infected with the virus. If you are not a health worker or when you're going out to get food, just stay at home. It is better. This is, I think, is the most effective way in protecting yourself against coronavirus and also stopping the spread of the virus. While you're staying at home, it is important to practice regular hand washing and also avoid touching the T-zone on your face. Basically, the T-zone are your eyes, your nose, and your mouth. Why? Because these areas contain mucous membranes, and these mucous membranes provide entry paths for the virus into your body. Now, if you can't wash your hand, it is also important to use your hand sanitizer to disinfect your hand. As you've seen, I usually do this at the beginning and at the end of my videos. Something that I noticed with regards to washing our hands is people, after washing their hands, people use their clean hands to turn off the tap. This is very wrong because your hands are clean and you don't know how many people have touched that particular tap. It is important to use the paper towel that you use to dry your hand to turn off the tap, especially if you are in a public place. Places like supermarkets that provide places for washing their hands. Even if there is no provision for that and maybe there's someone behind you, it's better to just leave the tap open. Next point that I want to talk about is using of the mask. Now maybe you're a health worker or maybe you're going out to get food items for the house. It is important to protect yourself by wearing this mask. Now you may notice that this mask has two sides. It has a white side and it has another side. There's usually colored, sometimes it's green, sometimes it's blue. Now this side, the white side, should be facing outside when you're trying to protect yourself from contracting the virus, and the colored side should be on the outside when you're trying to protect people from your own germs. Maybe you're sick, you don't want to spread your germs to other people. The colored side should be on the outside. Now when you have your mask on like this, it is important not to touch anywhere on the outside of the mask, which is, you cannot do this when you have the mask. You should not do this, maybe pull it down like this. No, it should always be like this. Once you put it and go out, you should not touch anywhere on the mask. Now when you're at home, you got back at home and you're trying to remove the mask, you don't draw it from here. You go the same way that you have it on, and then you remove it and immediately dispose of it. That is how you properly remove your mask. Another important point that I would like to make is when you're going out, you should always try your best to have a set of hand gloves on your hand, because you're going to be touching surfaces and things that coronavirus can live on surfaces for hours and also getting into the day. So it's very important for you to have your hand gloves on. Now let's say you're back home and you want to remove your hand gloves. It is important to know how to properly remove your hand gloves. You don't start removing your hand gloves like this. No, what you do is, on one hand you pinch a little part of it and then pull up, remove that glove, cuff it in the hand with the glove, and the same thing on the other hand, push it onto the one that you just removed such that it becomes one like this, and then you quickly dispose of it and you wash your hands properly after removing the gloves. Now if you're feeling the urge to cough or sneeze, you should do that into a bent elbow or into a tissue paper and dispose of that tissue paper immediately. When you're outside, it is also important to leave at least 1 meter between you and the person next to you, so that in the case of when the person coughs or when he's talking, the particles that he's spitting out would not get to you and also infect you with the virus. Talked about the fact that coronavirus can live on surfaces, on frequently on surfaces for hours getting to days. It is very important to disinfect regularly touch surfaces such as cupboards and door handles. Just think to yourself, how many times do you touch a door handle in a day? It's very important to disinfect. It's very important to disinfect those surfaces in order to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Now you can basically use Dettol and a paper towel to disinfect those regularly touched surfaces in order to prevent the spread of coronavirus. So now the final point that I want to talk about is if you start experiencing symptoms of the virus, please do not panic and go running into an emergency room, because you are increasing the chance of spreading the virus. The important thing to do is to sit at home and pick up your phone and call the toll-free numbers of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control in order to get certain steps and precautions that you can take in order to prevent yourself from spreading that virus, and they will also give you the steps that you are to take. They are going to give you the required steps that you are to take. Finally, I just want to say that the world has turned into a scary place to be, and panicking about the virus is not going to take away the virus. You just have to play your part by abiding by the preventive measures recommended by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, and also abide by the rules and regulations put in place by the federal government in order to stop the spread of coronavirus. So we have reached the end of this video. So at the end, let's sanitize our hands before we go. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay safe, be kind to one another, wash your hands. Inshallah, coronavirus will pass. Bye.